Hello, I'm Dawn Petrell of Art at Dawn, and all this week I am hosting a virtual studio open house and sale. And with that, I've been posting videos of things about my studio. Um, on Monday, I did a welcome video. I also did a tour of my studio so you could see it all nice and clean and it's organized for once and showed you around. On Tuesday, I looked through nooks and crannies and showed you, opened up drawers and bins and things on my shelves and kind of explained a little bit more about my studio. Yesterday, I I showed you some of the artwork that I have, and showed you the process that I go through to create them and stories behind them. Today, we are delving into my sketchbooks, and I'm very excited to show these to you. Um, this is just a selection of some of the sketchbooks that I have. You can see that they come in all different shapes and sizes. I don't work in just one sketchbook at a time. I kind of have a bunch going at the same time. They serve different purposes. I use different mediums in some of them. Um, I just like to have lots of different kinds so that depending on the subject or what I want to do, um, I'll work with that sketchbook that way. So let's get started. Um, we'll start over here. So this is kind of a medium-sized sketchbook. I've used this one, and this is a Strathmore. Just has great pages. It's a soft bound, and yeah, I love the pages, and I love this format. Here's some sketches that I've done in this. I've done a little bit of experimentation in this one. So not everything is refined, but that's the beauty of, you know, having a sketchbook is that not everything has to be refined. That you can play around in it, and some of this I have never shown some of these sketches before because they're not as good as some of the other ones, and that's fine. So that's that one. This one's a little bit smaller. The pages aren't as nice as that other Strathmore one, but there's my kids when they're little. But this one's a little bit more portable. It's smaller. And again, I did some experimentation in this. I did some ink blot sketches. That was a labyrinth that I sketched. That was a yeah, that was a hard one to sketch actually. So yeah, and I really like the one that I had open. Actually, I wanted to show you. This was something I was trying. I did the sketch and then I used an ink pad and I did the blue of the ink pad with that my daughter and my dog. So just a fun sketch. This one, oh, I love the sketchbook, and I'm sorry that I can't find it again. It's I got this at the Savannah College of Art and Design, and they had like a gift shop there, and this is my magenta sketchbook. And I love this one because I love the color, but also I use gel pens and ink, and was able to really get things to pop out of the page with this. So you'll see later I have another toned sketchbook, but it's more of a tan one, and that's fine too. But this one is a lot of fun. So maybe someday I'll find another one like this. But yeah, this is I was showing you guys a couple days ago about that I have a Day of the Dead a collection. So these were some objects in my collection. So yeah, I just love being able to use the white gel pen and the ink and make things. I experimented with just blue pen. I don't like it as much. I like the black a little bit better. So anyway, that's that one. That's my husband and I. This one again. This is another Strathmore, and I finished this one. So this has some interesting pages in it. Yeah, really nice. Oh, it's the one that I had open, and this was a fun one to do. I was just drawing these sports, what do you call them, sunscreens and bug sprays, and I didn't realize that the pen I had was not water soluble. So I went in, I did the sketches, and then behind it I did the watercolor, and it started to eat away kind of at the pen around the edges, and it kind of created this neat effect. So I didn't plan it that way, but it's kind of neat how you'll see how it started to kind of eat away the edges. The water did, because it was taking away the pen. So again, more experimentation in this one. Let's get to a page that I've actually already done. Let's see. So yeah, there's one. I actually made a sticker out of that guy. Sometimes I do that. Sometimes I'll make stickers out of my drawings, and then they become part of my sketchbook series. So anyway, that's a fun one. Okay, this one is a longer size, and that's fun too. I started taking this one on trips that we were doing. So so it became kind of like a travel journal in a way. So this is Glacier National Park, wildflowers of Glacier National Park. It's the Betrell family Western trek across America. So yeah, so that was all the places that we went to on this. It was like a big road trip for us. So it's a fun one just for that format. It's not easy to photograph because of this format, but it's fun to draw in. These are favorite ornaments. Sometimes I do it longer, and this is a German nativity carousel. So yeah, it's the Ohio State Fair, and I'll try out different techniques. I'll put down watercolor first and then put inks over on top of it. So that's kind of fun. So, and then this was like, I went to an art supply store that was unfortunately closing down, and these are all the art materials that I was able to get on sale. I drew them. Because artists are crazy that way. We'll draw things before we use them. Okay, so this is every October for the past couple years, I've participated in an Inktober, where it's supposed to be, I guess it's supposed to be like you do an ink drawing each day. This is the official prompt. I don't do that. I do a drawing a day based on the prompt, and sometimes my drawings tend to like I'll take the word, and like you can see with this, a wisp, and it's a spider web, because I'm thinking about how spider webs are kind of wispy, they wispy in the wind, or I don't know, I won't take the word very literally. This is bulky, and again, he's bulking up. Yeah, so blade, and I turned it into a Blade Runner. So yeah, day 9 is throw, and I did a throwdown with kids and puppies. I opened it up to this one. This is day 10, hope. And I just wanted to draw a very hopeful drawing. So yeah, I didn't take it very literally. I just kind of do it how I want to. I'm actually thinking this year, I'm already started to think about it. I mean, it's not even for a couple months, but I'm thinking that I'd like to take the word and maybe make like a little story out of it for each of my drawings. We'll see how that goes. And also I'm wondering about the format. These took me a long time, And so my October was full of doing these drawings, which was great. But maybe there's a way that it doesn't take up so much of my time too. So, and of course I was always a couple of days behind too. So, but it's such a fun thing to do, and I love art challenges, and doing, sometimes I'm not the type of person that does a drawing a day or anything like that, but it's fun when you do a challenge where it is a drawing a day, even though that can be time consuming. But so anyway, this is my I was telling you that I have another sketchbook now, and this is my toned sketchbook. This is my mass collection I was talking about a couple days ago. So it has toned pages, and again I use the white gel pens and the ink, and things just really pop out of the page. And so I look for, when I do a lot of these drawings, I look for a photograph or a scene that has a lot of light in it, has a lot of contrast in it. This is a scene from my in-laws' driveway. So a tree at the end of their driveway. And this is my neighborhood. So yeah, and then this one I added a little watercolor ground to it so that I could add some yellow watercolor. And I did that because if I just tried to use watercolor on its own, it would probably eat up the page, because the pages aren't that heavy. So that was a good way of doing it. So yeah, with this one I just like to find things that are have a lot of contrast in them, a lot of whites, and it's just a fun one to do. Oh, this is a fun one. So yeah, that's that sketchbook. Okay, this one is another Inktober. This is from 2019, so from last year. And again, just taking, and this is a larger size one. I think I learned my lesson after this one not to work so large, but it was fun. It was fun to do. Oh, I guess I should do that sideways. So this was mindless. So yeah, I don't take the, I take the word and I just kind of, they're kind of mindlessly following their mom. That's kind of what I thought on this one. This is bait. It's my son with some M&Ms. He's baiting me with M&Ms. So, and yeah, and the nice thing about this challenge too is that it allows me to experiment a little bit. So this is called Build, and it's made with lots of like papers, and I was just kind of building some structures. I don't know if they're really houses or structures. And this is one I really liked a lot, and I created stickers and actually even some greeting cards off of this one. So sometimes I do that. I'll take it and go beyond it. This is about Janis Joplin. It was called Husky because she has such a husky voice. This was Enchanted. Again, this is another one that I made into greeting cards and stickers, and even a magnet, I think. I just really, as you may know, I really love the Day of the Dead imagery, and just had a lot of fun with this. It's so whimsical and colorful. And again, I was experimenting with colored markers, but really went into it. So this is called Frail. So I'm not really sure. I guess just thinking about the frailty of kids and how things can set them off. This one's called Swing. So it's Tarzan swinging from vine to vine with Jane and the monkey. I can't remember what the monkey's called, or his name. But yeah, this is also like, doing it on top of a TV guide and with gesso or gouache. And, so just doing some experimenting and not feeling like it has to be, a work of art. It's great if it becomes a work of art, but, it's fun to just experiment too. So this is called Snow, and I really liked this one too. This became a greeting card. Okay, show you one more. Okay, this is called Ornament, and I was thinking about kind of an ornamental, like a cathedral and all the ornamentals in it. So, all right, so there's that. This is just an ordinary, 8 by 10. The pages aren't, this is kind of a standard sketchbook. So I don't try to do anything, a lot of watercolor or water media or anything like that in it, but just a kind of a good overall sketchbook. And during the lockdown, I did a lot of I did a coronavirus challenge, and so it would be like a word a day, or maybe it was a week. I can't remember if it was a word a day or a week or whatever, or maybe I did it every other day, or I can't remember. But then I was doing, this one was home, and you can also see in this that at the same time it was this Keats Daily Doodle Challenge, and that was a friend of mine. She created this challenge, and so it was, the name of it was Home. But at the same time, I was also kind of paying attention to the news. And in Ohio at the time, we only had 5,148 cases. This is the hospitalizations. This is the deaths. It's kind of keeping track of all those So it's kind of, a snapshot of what was going on at that time too. This is historic. So, and this is Grow. So I'm going to show you one last sketchbook, and this is my largest sketchbook. Again, though, the only thing about this is the pages aren't fantastic either. They're, kind of on the thinner side, but it's kind of fun to work really big. So this is like an 11 by 14 sketchbook. So when I want to work really big, this is what I do. This was a challenge through, I do this thing called Sketchbook School. It's like an online sketchbook school. They have tutorials, and they'll have some workshops, and they just have a number of people that love to draw, and it's just been a fun thing to become involved in. And so one of the assignments at one point was to do a ink blot and then to create something out of it. So this is what I came up with. This is an ink blot where I created like a circus scene out of it. And I called it At the Wacky Big Top. So from my ink blot, that's what came of it. This is a large drawing that I did of the Franklin Conservatory here in Columbus. It's a kind of a giant garden center, and they have indoor and outdoor, and they have some Chihuly sculptures. So this is one of the Chihuly sculptures, and the plants and things like that. So it was fun to take this there and draw. And I do that sometimes. I do some of the urban sketching. It's not always easy to find the time to do that, but I enjoy it when I can. This is our Santa bathroom, and not a good drawing of me. That's supposed to be me. But yeah. And this was, I took a picture of this going down Morse Road in Columbus. So kind of, kind of a rundown shop, and right underneath a billboard. And I just really liked the scene, and I decided to put objects in it like I do in my paintings. I put a couple of different objects in it as well, just to try that out. So, and then these were sketches that I did the background first, and then I drew on top of them. So again, a little bit more experimentation. I actually just glued these into this. And, oh, let me show you this one. This is Actually, I have the book right here. I had this book it was called The Perfect Machine by Lance Lechler. And he does all this, like, it was just fascinating. He does all this, like, cutout work with different, magazine pictures and creates all these, I don't know, fascinating, I don't know what you call them, drawings or mixed media pieces. And I decided I wanted to try to do that in my sketchbook. So I just went to town with cutting out stuff and putting them in order. And there is kind of an order to it, but I mean, I don't know if anybody could really see what the order is. So yeah, that was just kind of a fun one. Anything else in this one? Okay, I'll show you this. Um, this, this, I don't know where this came from, but I decided to do an owl and dedicate it to the Who. And this was a, a bookshelf, and kind of instead of an anatomy drawing of a person, it's an anatomy drawing of a bookshelf. So you see, I like to experiment around and play around in my sketchbooks, and sometimes they're great, and sometimes they're not so great, but it's just a lot of fun. And I'm sorry I turned that around. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this tour of my sketchbooks, and yeah, let me know what you think, and stay tuned next or tomorrow, my last day of my tour, where I will be doing like a question and answer session. I'll probably be doing that in the morning and then posting that. So if you have any questions about what I do, about my art process, or anything that you've seen from me, or anything, please please let me know, and I'll try to answer them. All right, until then, bye bye.